guys. So, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Anastasis Academy. Now we are at Bibliophile 8. And today's selection is From Bollywood to Marriages, the Fairness Obsession Has Taken Over India by Abhishek Karatkar. The actual essay you can find in the comment section given below, description box given below. Okay, let's start. Beauty is one of the remarkable gifts endowed to humans by nature, given to humans by nature. Women are gifted with beautiful looks while men are bestowed with handsome features. Endowed, bestowed, these are synonyms. The definition of beauty might change from person to person or even region to region. Women would love to be like Marilyn Monroe or Julia Roberts, while women would like to look like Aishwarya Rai or Katrina Kaif in India. In the West, they might want to be like Marilyn Monroe or Julia Roberts. In India, the definition of beauty could be Aishwarya Rai or Katrina Kaif. Same goes for men. It would be difficult to find any man who would not like Brad Pitt or even Arnold Schwarzenegger, because after all, they are considered epitomes of feminine and masculine beauty. They're the symbol or the culmination of masculine and feminine beauty, respectively, aren't they? The author asks. Yet, there is something that plays a very big role in defining the standards of beauty, and that is skin color. The author has driven home the point. That is skin color. As we all are aware that humans come in varieties of skin color, be it white, brown, or black, there are endless similarities and differences amongst us. Yet our society has somehow elevated the fair white skin color as the highest form of beauty for some unknown reason. Not so unknown. I think it has got a lot to do with the colonial hangover, because fair skin, there are two things, not just the colonial hangover. Back in the day, the upper caste people, even in India, the upper caste people were not, they were not expected to do menial jobs, right, standing in the sun. So it was subconsciously, fair skin was subconsciously related to being upper caste, being elite, not so consciously. And then the British colonialism happened, and white became the master, the complexion, and hence our respect towards the white skin. I do not know how this happened, but the world considers being fair skinned as the most acceptable form of beauty standard. And it's true. You just look at the matrimonial ads and you will see what the author is trying to say. And due to this, there came generations after generation in movies, movie industry, advertising, fashion, modeling, and even in marriages, where being fair became the most preferred parameter for achieving success and fame. Women and men having blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin became the poster symbol of pure beauty, to such an extent that even Nazis tried to define their race based on these attributes. Nazis, the Nazi party led by Adolf Hitler in Germany, which caused the Holocaust, the mass murder of Jewish people. All this led to the rise of racism. And as we had seen a few months before, racism took an ugly root in one of the most advanced countries in the world. Books have been written, movies have been made, endless debates and discussions have been done on this topic, and yet our society continues with its myopic as in lacks farsightedness, only can see the things nearby. Myopic attitude of judging people and giving undue advantage due to the color of our skin. This fascination for fair skin in India and other parts of the world has affected humanity in a drastic way. Trust me, it has. India is a land of diversity, yet, with all the diversity, there are many similarities which make Indians recognizable easily when they travel in other parts of the world and as observed by foreigners who visit India. Some of those include our culture's strong accent, quintessential sari, or even kurta pajama, salwar kameez. Quintessential is typical, worn by most Indians. But along with that, we are easily recognized by our skin color. It is so funny that as victims of racism from the West, Europe, we are racist ourselves. It is such an irony, which is predominantly brown skinned. Very few Indians are fair skinned, and even they don't match the light skin tone of Europeans because they are a completely different race. They are Caucasians. But having fair skin has always been a top priority for Indians. धूप में मत जाओ, चाय मत पियो, so on and so forth. काले पड़ जाओगे. Women cherish the dream of having white skin and rely heavily on makeup and beauty products. अभी भी. So much is this desire for fair skin inoculated in the mind. Inoculated as in deeply embedded, entrenched in the minds of Indians that the skin lightening cosmetic product, Fair and Lovely, is one of the most popular beauty products in India. Thank God it has changed its name. Nothing has happened. With a market cap of 80% of the lightning cream market in India, however, the company changed its name to Glow and Lovely in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter protests. I appreciate the company's stand. Well, the company even markets Fair and Handsome for men, which has also been a success. Everybody wants to be fair. This shows how much Indians crave fair skin tone. A majority of Indians continue to remain biased towards fair skin, and I find it very depressing as a society. In a relatively conservative India, most marriages are arranged by families, and the worst form of prejudice against women is done in this process. The expectation of the groom's family looking for a bride is generally fair, slim, and beautiful. While on the other side, the grooms are often dark skinned, but the bride's family does not mind it. There are so many cases when a girl who is highly educated and earning well is simply rejected because of her dark skin complexion. On the other hand, all men, fair and dark skinned, educated and illiterates, earning or not earning, all want a fair skinned girl as their wife or girlfriend. This is one of the biggest problems in India. So, no wonder products like Fair and Lovely will always remain in demand as long as this unjust expectation remains in Indian society. So this is the marriage part of it. How the prejudice perpetuates itself. How is it that the prejudice perpetuates itself in the form of marriages in India and the yardsticks on which women are gauged? Even Bollywood is no exception to this. If you ponder upon some famous songs in Bollywood, गोरी तेरी आंखें कहें, गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया, तेनु काला चश्मा जचता है गोरे मुखड़े पे गोरे गोरे मुखड़े पे काला काला चश्मा. uh, so yeah, even in the popular culture, fairness has been taken to be the cornerstone of beauty. It has been elevated to a pedestal, you know. And many such other songs and movies often promote heroines with fair skins. Nowadays, Bollywood has even started importing dancers from the Western countries. I noticed, I'm sure it has been there for a long time, but I noticed this in that Chamak Challo song, Shah Rukh Khan Ra one. Eastern Europe and other parts of the Western world having blonde hair and light skin, who are often seen in songs dancing behind the comparatively brown skinned Indian hero and heroine. This is even being copied in events like cricket games like IPL. The cheerleaders are important, which used to be known as a gentleman's game not long ago. Now, to satiate is to quench this fairish or rather feverish desire of Indians. IPL started bringing cheerleaders to attract attention and, of course, money from Indian audiences. Even worse, this mentality of Indians doesn't stop in India but continues to be carried abroad as well. When I was in the USA, I remember my friends back in India suggested I look for a white girl. So even Indians who go to the USA or Europe try to have a white girlfriend only. How problematic is that? I didn't find many Indians who were willing to accept any African American or Latino American, even though, however successful or good looking they might be. Hence, this obsession over fair skin is extremely annoying. In reality, what difference does skin color make? I mean, really, if we think it from a practical perspective, it doesn't matter. The skin color doesn't make any life better. It might give those people some unfair advantage. What a wordplay. In jobs and professions like modeling or fashion, but life remains the same irrespective of skin color. We all have to eat, sleep, do the chores. Skin color does not help there. A dark or brown skinned girl can be an expert in any profession, just like a fair skinned girl. Take any profession, be it programming, cooking, painting, even writing. There is no proof that fair skinned person will perform better than a brown or a dark skinned person of the same age. Our confidence, nature, habits, likes, dislikes, attitudes, achievements are never dependent on skin color. I wonder when Indians will learn to accept all forms of skin color. It is ironical because we are not by birth fair, you know. This is ironic because fair skinned British colonizers had ruled us Indians for a long time. Our forefathers have suffered immensely due to the atrocities, tortures committed by the white British rulers, yet we continue to be obsessed with the white skin. And even though we threw out the British from our land, we have not thrown away their attribute of accepting white as good and rest as being mediocre. Colonizers have been known to be extremely racist, be it towards the people in Asia or towards the people in Africa, the indigenous people of New Zealand, so on and so forth. So, the need of the hour is to erase the skin color bias from our minds because in today's world, the paths to success are not dependent on color or race. It depends on our attitude and hard work. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for Barack Obama to be the president or Kamala Harris to be the vice president of the USA. I don't have any examples here in India, and this is the sad part of the Indian story. Indians, I do. Dr. Kalam. Indian society hasn't yet accepted this diversity. As long as we keep praising racist Bollywood songs that eulogize as in praise fair skin, and as long as fair skinned women remain the preferred choice for a bride, things are not going to improve because we are a sum total of what we see around us. It affects us, it affects our choices, it affects our preferences. But the day we become unbiased to skin color and accept this diversity, from that day onwards, women won't need to spread loads of money on beauty products to make their skin lighter. I'm sure it has health hazards too. Women won't need to use filters on Instagram or Facebook to post pictures with fair skin. Men will respect and accept women as they are, and it should go both ways, I feel. I hope my and upcoming generations become more acceptable and thus open the doors of opportunities and success to everyone irrespective of skin color. So the passage does initiate with, just to give you a brief understanding, the passage defines beauty and diversity here. Beauty and diversity, how the beauty standards are a little different, but that diversity stops with skin color. That is the assertion that the author makes. Then the author goes on to talk about the role of complexion in the standards of beauty, moving on with the standards of beauty across the world, like the Nazis and all, and this attitude of judging people and giving undue advantage, introducing that. Then the passage talks about Fair and Lovely and other whitening cream brands and their popularity in the Indian subcontinent. The passage goes on to talk about why such things are happening, the reason, the root cause analysis of it, introduces the Fair and Lovely analogy again. The Bollywood influence on the common man's mind, uh, cricket. So, cricket, Bollywood, and marriage, these things have been primarily talked about. Moving on to what actually matters in life. It's not complexion. Things that are actually important to lead a fulfilling life have nothing to do with complexion. For example, cognitive abilities, artistic efficiency, likes, dislikes, nature, habits, and so on and so forth. And finally, the passage talks about hope, that the future generations would probably understand this and not be so biased anymore. The passage does give amazing examples like President Obama and Kamala Harris making it big in spite of their complexion, and again chastises Bollywood for eulogizing fair skin and people looking for fair brides and people being uh, judgmental towards the darker skin tones. In this context, I think the Black history would be a good read, because in India, this racism never really flared up, but it kept on affecting our lives in small little ways. But from the context of Africa and African people, uh, the narrative was a little more extreme. So when you read the Black history a little and the atrocities faced by the Black people in the hands of the white colonizers, you'll get a better understanding of how bad things can get. Right? So that's it. The passage does seem opinionated. The author is skeptical about the obsession. The author is descriptive at times, describing the situation at present. The author also goes into uh, the root cause analysis, Bollywood marriages, and popular games like cricket. So these are the tones and styles that have been used. And it's a wake up call for our society, I believe. It is a wake up call. So that's it for today. Do read the entire essay if you find time. It's an interesting read. And I'm going to see you in the next episode. Thank you. Take care.